We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Tennessee Titans. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish a running game early.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. 1st and 10 right at the 20. On the run, it's Pumphrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Derek Morgan in on the stop.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Jackson, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Looking to throw on second down. Wells. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now Lewis. Oh, and Lewis lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And Perriman's got it for a Raven touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Titans now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Lucky 56.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down, Wells. It's caught on the right side at Smith. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A good pickup there at 22.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Gone!
This is Lewis. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. A gain of 3, second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Detroit!
Looking to throw on second down. Wells. He rifles one that's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Pumphrey. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They'll run it now with Pumphrey. Oh, another one. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Jackson on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Leopard! Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Here's this. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Oh, wait a minute. They declined it.
Makes no sense, right? They just gave up a big yardage play, right?
And now it's going to stand.
The only thing I can think, someone is mad at their own defense, and they're trying to teach them a really, really crazy lesson.
A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Dion Lewis. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Gun!
He'll get it up the middle. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Gun!
On 3rd and 2, Wells. This will be caught at about the 5. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. When you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually completed the lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you. You've got to find a way to push things downfield a little bit. Any type of space is better than what we just saw there. And that end result, not one that's satisfactory to them.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now Jackson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. He may try and run for this. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. C.J. Mosley in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
They run. This is Lewis. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. From the gun, Wells. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, Jackson. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Jackson. And got his man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A very solid gain of 27.
Watching now, Barney.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Watching now, Barney.
On 1st and 10, Wells going deep here for Taylor. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Throwing again. Wells sets up the screen to Lewis. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to Tennessee after this. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Operating from the gun. Wells. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10.
Watching now, Barney. All right, now look at me.
After the interception, here's Jackson looking deep downfield. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard.
They'll start things on first down with Dion Lewis. Space to maneuver at the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Detroit!
Throwing on first down. Wells. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Barney. Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run here with Pumphrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, Jackson. On the crossing route, complete. It's Andrews. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They run with Pumphrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we'll head down to an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Titans getting set to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Hey. 4 down.
And they'll run it here. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
4 down. Now let's go. 3-19.
On third down, it's Grant. And a short gain here down to the 22. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And their lead will swell up to 28. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Titans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And the Ravens taking the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now Jackson on second down. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10.
No, check. Patriot. Now let's go. Blue 90.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Here's the option going left on second down. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now?
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
From the gun, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. They'll start off with a give to Lewis. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They go play action. Gabbard. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
The Ravens on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Jackson. He finds Humphreys. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphreys. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. And on the ground they go with a running back. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back now in Nashville. Now a handoff looking right. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay there.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Jarrell Casey in there to sack him for a loss of 6. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Lucky 56.
To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And that might be Titan football. It is. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Gabbert now after the fumble recovery. Now they go screen. It's complete. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Titans on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the shotgun, it's Gabbert. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tyus Bowser in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Tiger. Richmond.
It's just me and you. It's just me and
Black 99 Philly. Come back.
Desperation time. Gabbert on 4th. Trying to force it to his tight end Walker, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Pumphrey. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Jackson to throw on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Lewis. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Richmond!
Gabbard on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. A 2nd down throw now for Gabbard. Going deep for Walker. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 3rd down, Gabbard. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts. And
keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The Ravens on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 10 more there and another 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They try again with Lewis. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Now a toss play to Lewis. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Hey, you got three down.
Now they'll run with Lewis. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Tiger.
They'll try to throw here. Gabbert. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And they'll run it here. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive.
Come back.
Here's 2nd and 13. One last shot now for Gabbert. Davis fighting. He loses the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.